Right, hi grade 11. So this is your a little bit more instructions for your superhero production possibility task. Okay, so hopefully before you've done this, you've had a look at the videos about production possibility curve. It's been gone through in class a little bit. You've read over your notes, so you know what the production possibility curve shows. Okay, so this task is designed to help you. So achieve this learning objective. So demonstrate to me that you understand these principles, so that you can use a production possibility curve to show the concepts of scarcity, choice, opportunity cost, and a situation of unemployed resources and inefficiency. Okay, so in this task, you need to construct a production possibility curve for a superhero of your choice. You must write a short story that helps explain the concepts of scarcity, choice, opportunity cost, and a situation of unemployed resources and inefficiency, and provides an example of what might lead to the production possibility curve shifting outwards or inwards. Okay, and you should mention one of the factors of production. So those are the things that you should have learnt about that will push the production possibility curve out or push it inwards. So for example, a natural disaster that kills lots of people, that kills labor as a factor of production, that destroys capital, so factories and machinery, so like the tsunami in Japan we saw, would push the production possibility curve inwards. Okay, where immigration, so for example, in the United Arab Emirates, there's lots of immigrants, and that allows the United Arab Emirates to push their production possibility curve outwards, because you've got labour as an extra factor of production that's come in and allowed there to be more of everything produced. Okay, so this is going over the presentation that you've got below that you can see a link to, so you can have a look at this whenever you want to. You don't have to watch this video to have a look at these things. But if I flick on to examples from previous years, people have done Spider-Man, you can see they've done the diagrams and they've got explanations. Okay, the Hulk, same again, explanations, diagrams showing those things on the production possibility frontier. Same, the Incredibles. Okay, so let me give you an example of my superhero, Banana Man. So you've got something in context. Let's have a look at who Banana Man is. So let's watch this. So let me go back to the beginning of this, and then you'll know what Banana Man's all about when I go through the example.
This is 29 Acacia Road, and this is Eric, the schoolboy who leads an amazing double life. For when Eric eats a banana, an amazing transformation occurs. Eric is Banana Man, ever alert for the call to action.
Okay, so that's a little bit of an overview about Banana Man, my superhero. I'm going to do my assignment about. Okay, so this isn't complete. I would have an explanation and the story underneath these diagrams, okay, explaining what's going on. So it's your choice. You can either do a different scenario for each diagram for your superhero, or have a story that links all of them together. Okay, so for example, we've got Banana Man, who's also Eric. So he's got two choices. He's only got this problem of scarcity. Okay, so he's only got so much time in his day. Okay, so he can either be Eric or he can be Banana Man. Okay, so that's the problem. The scarcity is the time he's got. Okay, so it might be resources in other scenarios. So therefore, Eric needs to make a choice. Is he going to spend time being Eric and study really hard and achieve really good IB diploma points, okay, and get the full 45 he can get? Or is he going to spend all his time being Banana Man and foiling 60 crimes? Okay, so he's got that choice to make. So therefore, if he sacrifices one, there's an opportunity cost. So for example, if he decides that he's going to just be Banana Man and foil all the crimes. He's going to sacrifice, okay, there's going to be an opportunity cost of him basically achieving 45 points for his IB, okay. However, if he decides, right, okay, I need to use some of my superpowers for good, I want to get into a good university, but I've only got so much time, so he's going to sacrifice 5 of his diploma points to be able to fight 30 crimes. Okay, so the opportunity cost of him fighting 30 crimes is 5 diploma points. Okay, then he might decide, well, actually, I want to fight more crime. Okay, I want to foil more crime. So he wants to move from B to C. So in this case, he's moving from 40 to 30. Okay, so in order to fight an extra 15 crimes, his opportunity cost is giving up 10 more diploma points, because we're moving from B to C. If we were moving straight from A to C, in order to fight 45 crimes, the opportunity cost for moving straight from A to C would now be 15, because he's given up 15 diploma points. Okay, so that would be the scenario in my case that I would explain and write underneath this diagram. Okay, and that would tick off that I've explained the concepts of scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost in the context of Banana Man in my case. Okay, so you can choose any superhero you want to, you know. It can be your mom or dad if you want. Okay, superhero can be real or non-real, fictional. Okay, so then I'll move on to this diagram, and I'm going to say, right, okay, so we've still got Banana Man, Eric, or Banana Man. So at point A, Eric's, you know, he's a teenager. He's feeling a bit lazy, so he's staying in bed. He's not going to school or studying to get his IB points up. Okay, and he's not using some of his resources to foil crime. He's decided he's going to stay in bed. He's going to hang around with his friends or something. Okay, so therefore, there's some of his resources being unemployed, because he's decided he's not going to use his studying resources to study, or his superpowers as Banana Man to foil crime. So at point A, he's in a situation where his resources are unemployed, and therefore there's inefficiency. Okay, now for some of you, if you want to get big brownie points and impress me, maybe find out what sort of efficiency happens at point B. So this is when he's producing as much as he can do. Okay, he can't possibly produce any more. At point D here, okay, is where is impossible at the moment. It doesn't mean it's not possible in the future, as we'll see in a minute, but at point D, this is where maybe Eric wants to be. He's frustrated. He wants to fight more crime and he wants to do better as IB points, but he can't at the moment, okay, because he hasn't got enough capital, enough labor, enough entrepreneurship, enough land, maybe, depending on how you explain the story. So he wants to get to this point, but he can't at the moment. So again, we would write a scenario in there that explains this in the context of Banana Man, like I've just explained. Okay, so up here, we've got the production possibility frontier shifting outwards. So this is possible. So in the real world, for example, like I said in the introduction video, this is possible when there's been an improvement of quality or an increase in quantity of any of the factors of production. So for example, people have been trained better, so the human, the labor are more productive, so we can produce more stuff. Okay, maybe we've got more capital, we've got a machine, so we can do things faster. Okay, so now we can produce more things. Maybe we've got some new management and entrepreneurship that can utilize the resources better. Okay, that will push the production possibility frontier outwards. Okay, so in the context of my superhero, Eric, he's attended a study skills course, okay, a time management course, and that's given him the skills to be able to manage his time better. So now, when he's studying for his IB work or foiling crime, he can manage his time better. So, for example, for studying, he's got some study skills in bed now, so he's not wasting a lot of time when he sits down to study deciding what he's to study. He's done himself a revision timetable, and for his crimes, he's been able to schedule in when he's going to do that. So he's spending a lot more time being more productive. So this shifts his production possibility frontier outwards because he's improved his labor. Okay, you could potentially say he could he's another superhero friend's given him a time machine. Okay, so he's got improved capital. So now that allows him to keep skipping back in time, skipping forward in time, and he can spend more time studying now. Okay, so he can go and fight crime, and then he can go in his time machine, go backwards, and spend more time studying. So he's got an increase in capital, which increases the production possibility frontier. Okay, so hopefully you're getting it. Try to be creative as fun as possible, and remember, you need to put these explanations underneath there. I haven't done because I'm just explaining to you. I'm telling you what these are. Okay. Okay, and then the last thing that you need to do is a diagram that shows a production possibility frontier going inwards. So what could be this case? So if this is any of the factors of production, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, shift, an improvement in those, or an increase in the quantity, this must be the opposite. So what happens in this case? So like I said at the start of this video, that could be in the real world like a tsunami, a natural disaster. Okay, it destroys all your roads, your bridges, your infrastructure. So actually you can't produce as much because it takes longer to transport things around the country. Okay, so in my scenario of the superhero and Banana Man, okay, potentially Eric's been put into detention. Okay, because he's done something wrong at school, so therefore he's got less labor. Okay, he's just got less labor, so you know he has to stay in school for an extra 2 hours. He's not allowed to study. He has to do clean the toilets or something as a punishment, and that means he can't be Banana Man either. So the amount of labor available has been reduced. Okay, so you can see what I'm trying to get at. Maybe his bicycle is broken. So he's got less capital to use, which means it takes him longer to get to school, longer to get home, and he can't get around as much. Or maybe as Banana Man, his flying ability has packed in. He needs to get his cape serviced. So again, he's got less capital to use, which makes him less productive. Okay, it could be any of these, or it could just be the fact Eric's ill. He's ill, so there's less labor available there, so he's in bed ill, and it's going to take him a long time to recover. So the production possibility frontier falls for the foreseeable future. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. That gives you a really good insight, and I'm looking forward to seeing your poster. Okay, so again, remember you're handing this in electronically, so you can do it by hand like my grade 11s did last year, and that'd be fantastic because we can start putting things on the walls and making it feel more like an economics room. Or you can do it electronically, but remember you need to put the explanations like these students have on here. Okay, and then you can hand it in electronically. So whatever you feel is good. Okay, as ever, any questions, send me an email or message me, and I will get back to you. Good luck, and bye-bye for now.